Check. All right, now you should be able to hear me now. I don't know what it is about the microphone. Sometimes it's not that I nudge it the wrong way and the cable messes up on this side. Where here, it's literally, if it gets bumped on this side of the plug, then the only way it will ever really recognize again is I have to go and physically unplug it from the back and plug it back in. So I don't know what it is. This is just getting worse over the years. It's a good mic. It's just that plug has gotten a little more flimsy where just the slightest bump messes up the connection. And usually unplugging and replugging works. And then now it's gotten where if I, sometimes I, again, have to go and physically unplug it completely from the computer for it to even see it again. So I guess I might be having to look at shopping for a new microphone at some point. All right, Timmy he tried to help. He jumped down to, come give his puppy inspection. But now he gets his treat, right? You want the treat? He's just gonna lick his paw instead. Hello, Stitz. Alright, so we are going to do, of course, Planet Crafter again today. Humble Planet round 2 for this one. There is a interesting development since last time, and I'm assuming it's something to do with just there's still some bugs, like from where I got to last time. I was like, I should be able to see down into the lower level. Like, when I came and played again later, I was like, I should be able to see into the desert area below. Like, the dust, the haziness should be going away. And it didn't. And then the next time I saved and closed the game and reloaded, it was like, say, hey, I can see! So there's still stuff that is not updating in the environment on Humble, as well as it did on Selenia. When there are changes based on terraformation, like the zeolite crater area where the caves open up, did not open up until I closed the game and reloaded my save, and then suddenly it was like, oh, hey, we're open now. So I'm assuming there's still some, besides the developer bugs with that may be causing some problems with my game, because since the other day, I didn't have this problem the other day, but now suddenly I have a stuttering problem on Humble. And I'm assuming it's either because of an issue with Humble, or it's an issue with, like, Prime, where I have all my stuff happening, and I'm on Humble instead. So I'm going to show you first before I remove the mod and tell you which one it is that I have determined it to be. Specifically, I know it's this mod, and the latest update did not fix this. So again, it may be something on my game specifically. But I'm going to get jumped in here. Hopefully he's going to pick up soon. Come on, OBS. There we go. So what's happening, and you see right there already, every 2.5 seconds, I get a half-second stutter. And it's like a complete stutter. You see my frame rate will drop to like 65, 70 suddenly. And it's just, the whole thing freezes for about a half second every 2.5 seconds. I was thinking it's something with like the auto crafting or something like that, but it's not. It's the auto sequence DNA mod, because I went through one after another taking the mods out until I got it to stop, and it is the auto sequence DNA mod. Now, if you go to Nexus mods for that one, it has not been updated since June 14th on Nexus mods. But if you go to akarnokd's GitHub page, there was an update for 3 days ago, which I did download and install already, and same exact issue with that. So it did not, get fixed in that update. Again, it very well may be something specifically with my save. Now, the last update for the mod did say it was to fix a problem that could cause a corrupt game save. So I'm wondering if that might be what was happening, is I was not corrupted yet, but starting to get that corruption. So, yeah, we're going to run without the DNA sequencing mod today because of that, at least for right now. It might be something to try when I get back to Prime, maybe later today. But everything else has been updated and tested. That was the only one that has caused a problem. I don't know why it specifically be causing a problem, because I'm not even like sequencing anything right now here. All my sequencing is happening at the Prime planet, and honestly, for the amount of time I have played since I left Prime, there should be nothing else sequencing right now. All of my stuff I left to do and run should be already out. Hey, BBGMK sup. Try not to spam too much. Yeah, I'll see it, and just don't spam. So, last time we did get through, I can't remember if, I think it was the tier 2 rocket engine I got to. We got unlocked. We had the energy fuse multiplier and the cosmic quartz coming up, or maybe it was just the cosmic quartz. I ended up deciding to finally launch some rockets here on this one, and I launched 10 of the magnetic and 10 of the asteroid, which if you want a place to launch in the game, this is a good spot because every one of them basically targeted through there. And I ran through there. Now, right now it wouldn't be that great because it'd all be underwater, but before I could run through there and just grab everything super easy. It basically did like a little that strip kind of area, was where every single meteor landed. So it was easy. Got plenty of iridium and uranium by launching from this spot. But again, it was all desert. There was, actually, ooh, I think I did take a screenshot. Let me see if I got the screenshot still. Yes, I do. I'll have to show that later. I literally took a screenshot where it showed I had the plants, all the underwater plants. All of this was grown in, but there was no water. It was all open air, and I went underwater, and I was just going through there because the water had not generated in yet until I saved, closed out, and came back. Oh, I see I got Serenia too. So yeah, some weird bug still going on where it's not rendering correctly with some of the terrain changes. But as you see, I have got stuff going. I've got these, which should be generating plenty right now. This is decked out. So much aluminum. Yeah, so I've got basically the same kind of setup I did before. I've got sulfur going down here now, and you see I got me a little teleporter. I was gonna do it fancier, but I decided I just needed something going for right now, and I've got that. We'll do the return rocket, the extraction rocket, a little bit later so I can get back up. And oh yeah, hey, I don't remember for sure if that was there a second ago. It might have just popped up, but yeah, again, weird terrain rendering issues on stuff not showing up till you reload your save. And that's Selenia did it and Humble did it. So I would say, you know, if you're going to start with any mod, if you like the idea of more inventory space, do the item stacking. I know that it's got options in the config file for the mod. Like once you install the mod, run the game one time, it'll generate the default config. You can go in and edit the config so it will include or exclude certain containers. Like it won't do the inventory stacking in the vehicle. That's off by default. I think it has a separate option so you can turn on or off the stacking for your inventory specifically, or for maybe the containers. So if you didn't want to do full normal, you know, default stacking, you could turn off a couple of things. Maybe have it where it doesn't stack in your containers, but it stacks in your inventory so you can carry more. Or stacks in the containers, but not the inventory, so you still have to do extra trips, but you have ultimately more storage. Honestly, probably the easiest one that I think would be a good one to start with is the craft from nearby containers. So that you don't have to go and search for the materials to make something. If you're in range of the materials, you can use them. That'd probably be the best quality of life one to start with, sticks, if you're gonna do that. And that's one, you know, you could add that. If you don't like it, you can remove it. Whether that's an existing save or a new save, it won't cause a detrimental effect. The item stacking, it's only detrimental in that you'll lose some items if you got more than enough, you know, to fill up the storage. You'll lose some items, but beyond that, it's not going to be a big detrimental effect. I think those two would probably be my, like, absolute go-to minimum ones if I had to choose just bare minimum, because just makes it so much more enjoyable to play, especially the craft from nearby containers. You know, there's more games now where the devs are doing that kind of thing by default. Forever Skies, for example, if you are standing touching your ship, you are connected to the network, so you can craft in your suit printer, but also in any of your internal stuff from your inventory shared throughout the ship. And it just makes it so much easier, you know, less frustrating to have to go track down certain supplies, remember certain number of, you know, counting a certain number of items. It's just, for me, that's one of the better quality of life ones right there. The item stacking, you know, that's definitely more of a preferential thing. I just feel like the craft from nearby containers is kind of a, almost it should be a requirement now in some of these games. They're especially using fancy technology. Oh, I did rebuild this since last time. If you notice, I might have done a little weird thing there. So what I did, and I can't remember for sure if this is how I did it in the previous playthrough on Humble when I was building in the little basin over there, but I built based on the starting point from the sides instead of front and back. So with that, it didn't, if I built it from the front, I ended up with a gap here and couldn't have a way to close it in. The problem is here, you end up with this. You either snap it there or you snap it there, but once you can't overlap it. However, the angled foundations you can overlap. So I could build in like this and like this and create a full walking path. The problem there is I don't want to do it because it's going to embed in the side there, and so I will see it in the building as I go lower. I also still need to build one below that. Let's see if I can do that real quick. Up. There we go. Get another one down there. Come on. You know. Nope. Okay. But yeah, these are finally, everything's caught up. I was so held up on my production because I only had 5 drones. So I have been literally shipping all the supplies over and over and over. Every time, 15 items, 5 more drones through the shuttle to get me up to 50 drones. And now I am finally actually caught up, and I'm not needing to use, like, I'm using all 50 at a given time for the most part, but it's not consistent. Before, stuff was just sitting there piling up. 5 drones was just not enough for how much I already had going. Hey, Felonius. Had a good burger on the 4th as a small support. Well, good for you. I had a cigar. And foreign beers. I didn't get American beer. I drank foreign beers. I say it was Weizensteffen and Dos Equis. What was there? Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's Belgian. Yep, Belgium. Stella Artois. I had that too. That was my beers for the 4th. Ah, Jason, that's okay. You can stay on that account and do some shameless promotion. Let me go double check this over here. I did expand my production. As you saw, I got mostly, like I got bauxite going for, of course, aluminum. And I may be overkill now because I've got more than enough aluminum, which is fine. The bauxite will fill up. I won't have to worry about it. Uraninite, I do have that fully going. That's part of what threw my drone stuff into a loop, is I've got so much going for uraninite, and I got zeolite set up somewhat. I think I only did 3 zeolite right now. So I might have to bump that number up today. But I basically have everything in production now. Oh, and I finally got my the tree from Selenia. It grows in thick, but it's not so bad that you can't like get around. Like, they're skinny trees. You do the mushroom trees and you're just bumping into them when you're using the jetpack. It's kind of annoying to use those. So I like the new tree. Yeah, 3 of those. And I bumped the, I know uraninite was up to 6, but I think I finally got it where it's actually, they're all shipping. Yep. And, oh, and this, I had all the plant life showing the last time I played and saved this, but this was still frozen. This was still ice, even though the plants were showing. Even though everything was supposed to be liquid, it was stuck. So, I'm back to the idea of, you know, building in here as my base, except for the fact that, you know, position-wise, it's not the best. Let's see. You know, it's kind of, it's actually the edge of everything. It's close to there, and then actually not that far for bauxite one. So, and of course is uraninite itself, so it gets really some of the main stuff. It's just a little bit further away for the super alloy than I would like. And of course, where I'm building at the super alloy, I've got tons of room there. And that's one thing I want to do is, since I'm not doing DNA sequencing, I think I'm going to have to do some golden larva collection. But while I'm here, now that this is all melted, go to one of the other Starform crates next to the black rock right over here. Grab that. And I didn't see that one over there. That one. Yeah, this has all opened up now. I hope they fix that in a upcoming update. I feel like that should have already been fixed, really, that the bug where stuff does not change visually until you close the game out. Maybe they don't expect you to play for 3 hours at a time without stopping. So, register net. So. Ooh, pork shoulder. Anyway, yeah. I've been eating chicken all week. I bought, it was a family pack of chicken breasts, and ended up being 6 10-ounce chicken breasts in the pack, and it was like $12. I'm like, ooh, you know, that's enough. That'll cover me. I figured I'd be eating, I didn't know it was, you know, 10 ounces per chicken breast. I thought I would be eating like, oh yeah, I'll eat one, and I might do like a half of one for a snack or something. Like, no, these were like that big on my head, you know, the size of my face, size chicken breast. It was like, sit something for $12. And so I've been eating those all week. Timmy's been giving me dirty looks because I didn't give him any, because I seasoned them with stuff that would not be healthy for him. So I did give him some stuff from like inside the, you know, not the outer skin of the chicken breast, but the inside. Like I peel a little bit out and give him some stuff. So he got that. You plan to build in the bay? You talk about this bay or the other little bays? I like this one, honestly, where I'm building now, because I mean, yeah, it's not that far off, really, in terms of the resources. I mean, bauxite or bauxite, that's aluminum. Also, it compresses down into your base stuff through the dolomite. It's really that and that are the further out materials. Oh, and obsidian. I'm not using a lot of obsidian right now. Actually. Jenny, yay. And like I said earlier, the meteors, when I launched from here, where my platform is, they basically, this is where all the meteors were landing when I was on my platform, and every storm started for the iridium and uranium ones. They basically just went all through here. Like, I just basically collected and walked along collecting and got tons of supplies from it. So it's a good place in terms of trying to, you know, grab the supplies from a, you know, set of meteors. If you're doing that. Let me see, actually, double check. I got a few. See, all the uranium. Yeah, that, most of that is the rockets causing the storms. Let's see how, ooh, my aluminum is kicking up. I don't want to have too much aluminum. I have yet to do any of these other stuff yet. Do have temporaries in there. 6 energy oh, that's it. I just remembered. Okay, so I did, as soon as I launched those first 20 rockets, the 10 and 10, this unlock, I mean, within seconds of finishing the last of the first 10 rockets, I got the energy multiplier fuse thing, and then a few seconds later, I got cosmic quartz. I basically blew past, like, this was supposed to be 5 undecillion. I am already at 266 undecillion. And you see how fast it's climbing. The multiplier value of it just being a different planet is so crazy. That, again, I did only 10 rockets. So I can make cosmic quartz with the quartz station or an auto crafter now. And that got me thinking, because I was thinking, what if I make cosmic quartz? You know, can I make it to get other stuff? You still have to go and grab magnetar quartz other places. That is one drawback. We cannot mass produce magnetar quartz. I will get the quasar quartz on the other moon. And blazar quartz, I've already got. I got solar quartz, so just gotta go read the chip. So what I've been thinking is kind of something different. All right, I was trying to think of a way, because I need cosmic quartz, solar quartz, pulsar quartz, fuse cartridge, that stuff. You know, I can make those things. It's the cosmic quartz that I would have to have a lot of magnetar quartz to do. If we get a, you know, recipe for crafting magnetar quartz, I will automate the energy multiplier fuse production as a money-making thing on Humble. But right now, we don't have a recipe for that. So what I'm thinking is kind of going in reverse with this. Is I'm going to set this location up, Humble, for trading with Pulsar quartz. I've got the Osmium production. I'm going to probably expand on that. Iridium and uranium, I'm not so worried about those being produced here because of, you know, I've got stable, controlled ones back on Prime. So I'm going to use this place to do Pulsar quartz and make a lot more money by trading Pulsar quartz. with that, I was thinking, now that I can craft an energy multiplier fuse, I'll buy them and recycle them for the cosmic quartz, which then I can use for crafting other stuff, or use it to recycle and get a continuous stream of magnetar quartz. Because what's weird is you could crush them to get a random quartz through the ore crushers, or I'll assume since now I have a recipe for it, I should be able to pop it in the recycler. Yeah, see, I could get a random one, which is interesting. But I feel like if I just pop it in the recycler, it should give me all the other components too. So that is what I'm thinking I want to try to do here, is set up as a high volume Pulsar Quartz production spot to make a lot of money, selling Pulsar Quartz, probably launching the rockets from down there. And to that end, I probably need to do some more production. Actually, I know I need to do more production. I'm gonna go ahead, just to cut down the drag on the drones, is I'm gonna craft osmium rods to ship here. And I think what I'll end up doing, let me double check, because I got this osmium. I got a few rods. It'll start shipping the rods here, and what I will do is I'll have priority as normal, because if you apparently put something too close, it still will try to ship a different way. And what I'll do is, I think I got a, no, I did not. I did not do a recycling machine yet. I'll do a recycling machine that will take rods at normal pace and recycle them to regular osmium, and I think I can do that enough. So I need the stuff for some tier 3 extractors. I did enough of these recently. I should be able to remember it, but go ahead, do 3 for zeolite, 3 for osmium, and that should be, I think I had to actually wait for a minute because I ran out of osmium rods because I was building so many. Could be 18. Oh, okay. Stutter from the autosave. I'm okay with that. It's the stuttering it was doing with the auto sequence DNA mod. That was a problem. Okay. We'll go get this going. Got 40 degrees there today. I'm assuming you're, of course, talking Celsius, which be hot. Now, if you're talking Fahrenheit, then I'll trade with you. It's like mid-90s Fahrenheit here, and we've had. It seems like every other day for at least a month we had rain. I'm pretty sure there was. I'd have to look. I think out of a month we only had like 3 or 4 days total out of the month where it did not rain. Like the ground was so saturated, I could take like a little pole and stick, push down, and it would go down 2 or 3 inches because it was just so soaked and loose. Yeah, I would trade that 40 Fahrenheit over this. Well, yeah, I'm sure you are talking Celsius. All right, stop doing that. I want to place it tall. I need to disable snapping button. Fine. Okay. So that supply all. This is going to increase the amount of stuff. If you can group drones together into a certain work group and then have a separate drone station for that work group, I would have a drone station in the cavern here So all the uraninite would get just processed here. Everything would be like drones, grab it, go, and just take it right into a recycler. And then that's when it would say, okay, the output of those is what's going to be carried back. And I mean, it's still going to be the same amount of travel, but it would at least speed things up in terms of crushing everything. I know I did not come through here recently because I haven't grabbed that or that. And I'll say I thought there was a crate back there. Yeah, we did not even look at this area this time while it was frozen. Never even came here. Just bypassed it all. Oh, why you can't grab those? Oh yeah, good little haul right there. And I need to find the cave. There we go. Of course, this is still a little frozen, but that's fine. Right into here. Forgot to grab these two. Fuse. Oh, cosmic quartz. Another cosmic quartz. Why don't you wait till later if you can? Get your, get your terraformation index up high enough so that you can just say, I want to get all the really good supplies now. Okay, so here's going to be the problem. How do I get this to place? Okay, that goes there. Yep. Grab this stuff that's in the way. That should help. I know I did like a bunch the last playthrough here, where I think I had a full sits in here. Come on. Not just do the disable build constraints on this. Okay. As long as I can get them in here, what I'm going to do is turn off the supply. I'm just going to set the log to do that part. That way I don't have to worry about the shipping as bad. There we go. Slap it down there. Slap it down there. Should be in range. Get the osmium rods. Supply the osmium rods. That'll at least cut down a little bit on the traffic. So 6 zeolite, 6 osmium, 6 bauxite, and 6 uraninite to produce everything. I feel like, yeah, it should be okay to get enough production going for some Pulsar quartz. I feel like I want to do gas extractors. Of course, that is in the way. So we can just tuck them back here. I'll just kind of do it a little bit decoratively. So they're kind of placed, and we'll just kind of go and see how that's gonna go. So I need oxygen capsules for silk generators. I'm not gonna be doing silk generators so much here. So look at that. Get rid of that. Grass has to be cut every second day. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, cutting grass that's wet is definitely gonna be more trouble, considering you're trying not to jam up your lawnmower. But it's just because it's, you know, you get those little bits of wet grass, it turns almost into like a paste. It's just gonna be gunked up over everything. Oh, look, the fog has lifted now. We've got a nice view of the area. And there's all the water there. Yeah, I'm thinking if I want to do anything farm-wise for bacteria samples, fertilizer, things like that, I can do that down there like I did with Prime. That's the main thing. I did not do anything for the base materials, did I? Iron and such. No, because I am getting so much of that stuff from the uraninite and the bauxite. Let's see if I can actually... What I wish would happen is these would load balance a little bit, because they don't. And you see, I gotta kind of go in and do this. Does not balance things out like they should. Yep. I mean, once one of them is full, yeah, that's gonna balance out a bit. But I don't want it to be like the other ones that are sitting there stuck doing nothing. Wish that would evenly distribute between certain things. Or you could have it toggle as part of a even, like, balance distribution, you know. That would be great on certain things. Balance the distribution. Yes. Okay. Diving board is missing. I mean, you know, it's... I could still build out that way, make a little diving board. I did do quite a bit of diving to jump down there instead of teleporting at first. I was like, might as well just jump. Oh, that reminds me now. Yeah, let's grab. Yeah, let's go grab a bunch. So we're gonna do what I did before. I guess it might be easier just go this route. Start with. Yeah, do like this. Now, this gets it away from the rest of the production. 1, 2, 3. Good. That should be sufficient. Okay. Now, I should have started with. Oh yeah, you can snap to the. Can't snap it under. Oh, Okay, come on. Okay. Wait, what? That should be snapping evenly, is it? Oh, wow, okay, so apparently this, snapping from this, slowly throws everything off in terms of your alignment. It leaves a gap. I did not realize that. Okay, good to know. If you use the slope, it's going to cause, over time, an alignment gap if you don't just keep snapping off of the slope the whole way. That's kind of annoying. Because, like, right here, you know, it goes right up to the edge, but that was leaving a complete gap. Yeah, that was not, obviously, a incremental gap, so eventually I would get it back to matching up to perfect alignment. Already. I know I did this last time with the Serena butterflies, where I built this to get them specifically. I know I did that on Prime this time around, but I think I did this one here was for Serena and some golden, because Serena is a very nice recyclable one. Good way to get good supplies. I remember it's like a mutagen tier 2, I think, or no, it may be mutagen tier 3 is not what I was doing it for, was to get a tier 3 mutagen. Because of not like having other stuff unlocked that needed mutagen tier 3, but I didn't have mutagen. Oh no, it was mutagen tier 2, because I unlocked mutagen tier 2 or tier 3 before I got tier 2 unlocked. So I had to get creative so I could get tier 2 mutagen, because I couldn't craft it, but I could make tier 3. They may have actually got tier 4 unlocked too before that. Usually it should be starting to spawn like crazy. It might need me to leave the area for a moment. Oh. Ah, saw it before I left. Yeah, I don't know how they've got some of the snapping alignment stuff done on some things. I mean, there's so many things that are not actually lined up, you know, in matching size. You know, they line up differently. I don't know why that has not been addressed, and it was mutagen tier 2. There we go. I feel like, I'm sure some stuff will require a slight redesign. You know, maybe make the, you know, here's the legacy one that you can't build anymore, but is still compatible in the game for old games to work. And then you have the new version that actually lines up with everything. It's too dark. It's too dark. Let's get a light. That did not light up like I wanted. And there. Autosave. Lag. And we'll just put it right there, like that, just facing towards it. Okay, so I can at least see it a little bit better. Yeah, but see, like, this does not line up to this. And it should. They should line up together. It should be where they can be tied together. Doesn't have to be, like, snapping, but they should line up together, at least. They don't. Let's just see. I don't think I'm going to have... Yeah, nothing. So, extra chips. Back. And before too much can start spawning in. Also, daytime. A little bit easier, see? There we go. Got common. I don't care about common, uncommon, anything like that. I'm not worried about that here. I just want to get some Serenity. That. Or, golden. Occasionally get golden here, too. I'll take that. Honestly, the golden will be the best option right now, because I do need to kind of get some insect stuff going. Serena, 1200%. That's another good one. That's why this is a good spot once you get here, if you can, to build. Just a platform in this little area, because you're guaranteed to start getting some Serena. And that's 1200% boost. You can't get golden to, you know, craft with the sequencer. I mean, look at that. 4 already in that short amount of time on this little platform. Also, again, recycle them. That's mutagen tier 2. That's a good resource for those. Oh, Fiorente. Got one of those. 600%, but still, that's a good one for collectible reasons. Gotta catch them all. Okay, just filling up on the commons now. I'm not picking them up. Probably should check. I don't remember. I know I did a larva thing for one of them because these are not filling up. I probably need to go and check my storage for that sort of item. I put them where I put them. Oh, I got B. Yeah, I didn't put anything there yet. I did not do. Oh, so okay. Oh. You know what? I just thought about it. I may have made a mistake. I put that. No, it's not to. Okay. I was like, I make sure I did not put it there to demand that stuff. So somewhere I got larva going in. I just don't remember where. Yeah, I don't. Oh, well, did I do it back here? Maybe I did it back here. Yep, okay. I did a temp one just so I could start getting the larva out. And I just noticed I did not clear that. That's why, because I forgot to clear the demand thing, so. Let's see how quickly my drones can take care of this. I still need more drones. That's just way too slow. That should have been like a second or two to get those out of there. So yeah, I still need more drones. Okay, so I have... Really, terraformation is the only other thing left here to do. As far as unlocks, I've got everything. I've unlocked everything system-wide. I technically could say, hey, let me set a couple things up. I got butterflies, things like that, set them up, and then just go. We go to the other moon and start on it today. Since really, terraformation-wise and production-wise, most everything is done here. The only thing would be left to do is set up for the Pulsar Quartz production. Let me make sure I've got a spot for that. I think that's... You know what? I've got quartzes over here, yeah. So we're gonna set up a Pulsar Quartz one for right now, specific to it, and I can get me some quartz going for that. Let's see. Oh, you can right click. You can right click and clear it. Well, that's useful. I did not know that. If you knew it, say so in the chat. I did not know you could right click and delete a single item out of the request list. That is super useful. And I'm glad they did that. I never did that. I never tried right clicking on it. I always said they just need to have it where it's toggled and it would highlight it so you could see what it is. Let's see, zeolite. Yeah, okay, we got zeolite, methane, nitrogen. So we'll need those. I've got them producing and probably piling up over there already. There you go. That. Where's something else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, we'll just do explosive powder because I don't think I did one of those yet. Right there, that's fine. And then I can do some of the. You know what? Mutagens. fertilizers. We'll have most of my stuff over here already. And I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna set this one going. Yeah. Yeah. That stutter. Honestly, I'm not even so worried about producing the rods here that much. I just want to get that going. So it's not going to be the most optimized option for Pulsar Quartz production, but hey, I can make it work. I'll bump that up. Actually, you know, if I leave, eventually this will fill up so that these will start getting them, and it'll eventually fill those up, especially if I add more to the production of Uranium over there. I just still kind of want to have more drones. You know, I mean, think about this. You can auto-craft drones, yeah, but you still have to go put them in the drone station. So, because I'm using the stacking, that could be an interesting way to say, okay, I'm going to set up to auto-produce the drones and have it supply the drones, and then set the drone station to demand the drones until the drone station is completely full. And, yeah. Wait, no, I don't need that. Don't need that. No, I actually mean to do that. Let's do this, because I do have sulfur going finally. That will eat up some of the supplies for this, but I do need to get some explosive powder going at least. Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, I know you can select several at once holding control. I still feel like it should be a toggle thing. Like, you click it, and the outer frame highlights. You know, it brightens it up, and that way you could just... It's a on-off thing, rather than, here's the list. You just click back in, and it shows all of them that are lit up. And you go in and click to untoggle, you know, or toggle a different one on. I feel like that's what it should be. You're gonna name a supermarket. What's your naming the supermarket? Or what supermarket are you building in what game, Jenny? I must have missed the part where you mentioned the game. Oh, power is getting a little lower. Oh, you know what? That's something I need to do. I need to move my power stuff. I gotta do something with the power production, so... that could be the air teleporter, so we'll do... Yep. Teleporter. And I kind of want to do it where I start with... And you... Oh, wait, no, not that. I did 3. There we go. Okay, so that. And I'm going to go ahead and do... 3. Not a diving board, but it's going to be kind of similar to doing a diving board. Geronimo! Not going to make it to the water. Oh well. Oh! You know what? Why not just do it right here? Off to the side. I was going to kind of do it in there, deeper in the inside, like, you know, with some water, but this will work. Right here. Might just do it right there in the middle. That's good. So I can make it easy to get down here. Technically, once this is going, I'm not going to worry about it so much. Jenny's Snacks and Things. I'll go with that. It's a supermarket sim. I'm assuming that's one you got off of the Steam sale, is it? And I know I got plenty of fuses. If I remember where the fuses are. Yeah. Look at that. 7 energy fuses just waiting. this will give me the boost I need to relocate my other ones, I think. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna relocate. Should be. I've got 2 here. If I take one of the boosters out from here, yeah, let's just see what happens. Hey, okay. I may actually squeak by with enough power just doing what I have, like that. Jenny's cheese and crackers. I mean, it depends on if she's actually selling cheese and crackers there. I mean, it's a supermarket, so you would assume it, but that's not necessary. She could be doing like an Asian foods supermarket. You don't know. You don't know what she decided to, you know, focus on as far as clientele. She might be pulling a whole caviar dreams type of supermarket for the super rich. And they don't get crackers. They get fancy whole grain, gluten, oxidized, you know, pre-chewed wafers. I was trying to think of a way to phrase it, because, you know, there's like that coffee that is so expensive that it's basically pre-digested by a big feline. I can't remember the name of it, but it's literally it's poop coffee, because it is these beans or something that get eaten by this big giant feline, and the poop is collected and used for the coffee. Let me see what it was called. Civet. Yeah, it's a civet. Kopi Luwak, also known as civet coffee, is coffee that consists of partially digested coffee cherries, which have been eaten and defecated by the Asian palm civet, which is a feline type creature. Yeah, a toddy cat or a musang. Yeah, so it's literally cat poop coffee, and people pay a lot of money for that. So yeah, she could be, you know, selling caviar and cat poop coffee there. You don't know. There we go. Tiger poop coffee. That'd be the name for it. Jenny's Trap. Oh, it was, you know, if I did one, it'd either be something spicy in the name or something about Timmy in the name if I was building a supermarket. Oh, 80,000. I am good on power for now. So I don't need to do extractors for the base materials. I am getting all those from the crushers right now. You know what? I do want to see about my other pieces. What I got? I've got production multiplier. I may actually go ahead and do that for the Uranium. And that does mean I could cover for 8. I have 6 over there, but I can do 8 with that. You know what? I don't want to have to go and fight to find the supplies, so I'm just going to do that so I can grab things. Yeah, I'm going to bump Uraninite on to 8 extractors with a big production boost. So I am going to need more drones. But that is, I mean, that's super alloy. Yeah, that's actually one of the weird things about with this location is I can still set up the super alloy mine type thing. Like in Prime, I set up the super alloy mine and I'm producing super alloy rods there, same as I'm doing here. So the idea was I just get the rods and then I can recycle them to get the regular super alloy. But here I can do the same thing, but I'm still going to end up with regular super alloy because of Uraninite. So I will have plenty of super alloy here, which is good because that will make the, you know, help with the Pulsar Quartz stuff. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Just put it there. Dump that in. And then that gives me one on each side of that. There's gonna be more traffic. Yeah, I would have a drone station here assigned specifically with like 10 drones just to grab them here, dump them into like nothing but grabbing them, dumping them into a crusher, and then the crushers would be part of the regular group for the pickups. But all right, we got more uraninite, more production there, and that means faster uranium and iridium production. It's just not guaranteed consistent volume. You want a unique one? You know, Jenny, besides crowdsourcing for suggestions as you've done, there are some very interesting tools out there that can help with generating ideas. One is called ChatGPT. Just go in there and say, I am playing a supermarket simulator game or supermarket sim game, and I need a unique name for my supermarket. Here's my name. Here's kind of the themes I'm thinking of. Give me some suggestions. Give me a list of 20 suggestions, and then see what ChatGPT pops out. Or perplexity.ai. Go there too. You don't even have to sign in. I know Perplexity to ask the question. I can't remember if ChatGPT has changed it to where you don't have to sign in. Oh, good. Look at that. I'm still racking up stuff. So I am not having a problem with that. I'm having a problem. I have no sulfur. Okay. Which is fine. Methane. It's got to be methane. It's not, yeah, not osmium, not zeolite. I do have rods starting to fill in a little bit. Tell you, no methane. Plenty of explosive powder right now. That might actually be enough for a moment. Let me see if I'm actually getting food stuff over here. Yeah, pea mushrooms, squash, eggplant. Just no beans because they're being consumed immediately. All right, now gonna do the crusher to get the fancy recycler. I'm gonna start by demanding osmium rods, and again, the idea is hopefully it should kind of semi-balance from the production over there as it brings rods here. I'm almost full on iron. So let's go ahead. I'll do super alloy rods here too because I've got plenty going. That'll give me that. I'll use up some of this and this before it overflows. Double check, make sure. Yes. So way I've got this done, of course, obviously you want your shredder to lowest priority, but you see what I've got here. The basic materials, because of overflow, iridium is actually going to come out. I'm not going to have an overflow of iridium. I think at one point I was kind of getting close to that, but not now. And then the dolomite, just because it does give some of these, but it's more specifically the cobalt, so I've got that out. Really, I feel like I should do some more of that, but I'm not ready to yet. I need a shipping area for my rockets, and obviously I can't build them where I'm up here, so I'm thinking that supply area. I'm gonna keep the production here, but what I'll do is I'll have the drones towing the Pulsar Quartz down there to the supply rockets, the trade rockets. That's what I'm thinking I want to do. Autosave stutter. Oh, yep, we are getting some osmium rods in there. Good. So it's gonna kind of hopefully alternate between on those. So I still need to make my extraction platform. I did not do that. You know what? Let's just do that. Yeah, it's not where it needs to be, but I'm gonna do that and then go ahead and, well, you know, fine. I'm out of range. So let me grab the supplies I need. Energy fuse. There's I put them rocket engine. And then 1, 2, 3. And rod. Alloy rod. And should be the 2 fuses. Let's see, where's the fuses? 1, 2. Or fuse energy cell. Okay, so that should be everything I need. Yes. So I can build that because I can still deconstruct it. Okay. Let's go get that set up before I mess up and not have it available anymore. I'm not even really that worried about the appearance here in the end. I was more worried about appearance at Selenia than I am here. Yep, front, okay. So I can go ahead and be ready to head back to Prime. And then we'll just do right along there. Trade rockets. Alright, give it a second. Let me get some more Serena butterfly. It may take a moment for it to kick in. It did on the other trip. Partly because it's got a timeout and despawn some of the already spawned in larvae. Or just refuse. I guess technically I also could just do the rocket trade platform rockets there. I don't think I will need the trade multiplier fuses on this location. I don't see it being producing that quickly that I can. I mean, who knows? Eventually I could scale it up to the point I could have just constant, you know, have like 4 or 5 autocrafters making Pulsar Quartz because I got just so much going. It's just too inconsistent on the production because of the whole crusher mechanism. Apparently I'm not getting any drops right now. My drones must be tied up with something. Those are transferring. That. Hey. Oh. That is a very interesting type of tornado you have to worry about, Jason. Hope you got some, you know, clean clothes to change into. Like regular tornado, you know, is already bad enough, but a poop tornado, I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit more of a, you know, monetization friendly on the way I phrase it. That's a definitely worrisome one. Gotta watch out for the poop tornadoes. That makes me think kind of, who's watched Trailer Park Boys? The series. Because, one of the characters, Leahy, Jim Leahy, the, trailer park supervisor, as he gets into, the later seasons, as he starts having his drinking problem, everything is that. Like, that is the phrase he uses, the adjective to describe everything. You know, not poop, but what you put on there, Jason. And it's like, you know, poop storm, poop tornado, poop hurricane, you know, it's all sorts of just different ones themed around that. And it just continues. The more drunk he gets, the more he brings up that terminology. Okay, I need some more methane. So I am burning through it too quickly, so we'll just throw in. Did I oh, super. What? I've got one piece of super alloy. Oh wow. Okay, I know I was doing the. Yep. Okay. Turning this off. I did not think it was going to burn through that quickly. Apparently it did. Again, I get those from Uranium, so it's not a problem. I'm just gonna do all methane on this. One nitrogen, because that's really, I'm not gonna need too much for that. We're gonna do the Pulsar Quartz. That's the big output here, is Pulsar Quartz. Which of course does require no super alloy. Fortunately, just osmium, zeolite, iridium, uranium, and methane. And apparently methane is what's holding me up at the moment. Osmium is slowly going to drain. Oh, I am getting some rods. Like, I know I've used a couple, but I am getting some rods there. Looks like I need more osmium production. Let's see. Osmium, I know it's in the cave system in there, but there's also this spot. I have not tested a different osmium spot. So, kind of want to see if it actually will work inside. I know previously with Humble, it would not work except in that one cavern where I've got my stuff set up already. But if there is a better, more open spot, because like right there's the vine to go up, and you see where this is definitely, I'm gonna be right in here, not like in that area. That's next to the little opening. I see I'm here, not here, so maybe it does work right at the entrance. Yes, it. Yeah, okay, so over kind of this way. Oh yeah, I'm like right next to it. Let's just see if it is like, yes, osmium. Okay, so how far out can I get in this spot for osmium? I can still do osmium here. All right, I have a better spot for osmium. It'd be ideal to be able to turn these a little bit better, but okay. So osmium, get that going. Let's go get the other one. That has to have changed, because I'm pretty sure you couldn't do that previously in Humble when I played it before. And I did miss one of these over here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right next to. What the? Did I render something in late? It was right there. Oh, yeah, yep. So that did not render in time. That's how I saw it. It was late on rendering. And it's the only reason I got to see it so easily. Yeah, I'm going to pull all of these. Relocate. Oh, it's easy. Let's just go and see if any of them fit. They do not. Oh, that does. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. Bigger area is a better option. So that puts me at... should be 7 total. Why is that not? Oh. Stupid stuff in the way. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah. That out. Because I'm gonna do this like I did with the super alloys, so I need to actually rotate stuff the other way. Oh, what? That, oh, okay, it did actually line up. I feel like it didn't. Okay. I'm gonna get this. I need to bring back one more. And or the supplies for one more plus. Did I do that? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, hey. I'm not sure what happened with that, but somehow I ended up with the supplies. Except for the iridium. Okay. Oh, I know. That's, yeah, the auto cracker. 2, 3, 4, 5. With that. Yeah, so 4, 4, and that'll be number 9. And where's auto crafter? This. Autocraft and supply. So that's going to speed things up. Yep. Just double check. That should work within range. So I'm going to bump my osmium production up because that is, I think, right now really going to be the... For some reason, it seems like it goes slower. Like, you know, here's 6 zeolites, and they're going fine. You know, like all the zeolite. But I do osmium, and it just seems like it goes slower on the actual production rate than any of the others. It always just seems like it's the slow one. So I'm gonna need one more. I'll start with that, and then I'll see how it improves. And I'll do another set of 9 in the end if this is not. Oh, wait, nope, I'm not 2. I need 1. I had 6. I got 1 more from that. I had 7. I need 2 more. I'm thinking in terms of like super alloy. Super alloy, you need 8 plus the aluminum to make it. So yeah, this I need 9. And then I might do the might be time to go ahead and do the heat and pressure setups somewhere. Kind of thinking about doing them way off in the distance. You know, go set them up one time, get a whole bunch of fuses in, and be done with it. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the point where probably I will leave here once I am in the final terraformation stage. Go back to Prime, do some fixing up there, Well, I still want to try to get this going smoothly for... I'm going the wrong way. I want to get this going as smooth as possible for producing Pulsar Quartz. And having 1 or 2 rockets to do trade on the Pulsar Quartz while I'm gone. I mean, at this point, all I've got left is to the other moon, unlock the stuff there, and just keep, you know, building until I am tired of building in this save. And that'll be it. So that's, yeah, bump my Osmium production up nicely. See how I'm doing now, because that's... I did the production fuses for Uraninite, and I kind of want to just... because I know I'm going to need to let it get to that point. I'm kind of feeling like I want to just leave it to where the drones start to balance the spread out a bit better, because there's overflow on one crusher and the next one they start to actually fill them in and keep them full. Honestly, I'd be fine with like overflow from the like the crushers are overflowing because there's just so much uraninite. See, like those are empty. That one's almost full, so that should be that one, followed by that one, then that one, and then, yeah. Let's see how these are doing. Okay, so not full yet. I don't have the boost going on that one. I'm not so worried about it. That's aluminum. We'll produce some of the regular stuff plus the dolomite. These are the critical ones. Super alloy, and of course, uranium and iridium. There was spots for those specific items. It'd be better, but there's not. But that is actively working. We're getting good there. Okay. Still empty on that. I'm about to do more. Let's do another one. In between. Just methane. Okay. Now, what I've got is, you know, I need some Pulsar Quartz just to let me build. The whole point of having that. I'm not so much worried about actually having a huge stockpile of Pulsar Quartz here. What I'd like to do is have it where eventually it starts to kind of balance out. I may set it so that both of these trade at the highest priority, and then that gets like overflow if I can get the production level high enough. Yeah, I love that nice little dive. You know, I hope people have done that, the F4, you know, to get unstuck and use that to get way up high in the sky. I remember doing that one time with, I want to say, let's see if I can still do it. Can't do it now, but I want to say at one point you could do a, like, go walk backwards, and it would let you just keep climbing up higher. And I remember doing it where I did like a really big, like, let's just hold it, go as high as I can, and then dive after I could not see any more of the world. That everything was fogged out because I was so high up. But can't do that now. It's fine. But yeah, you can get pretty high up overall and have a nice little trip. Fall back. It's just a case of I don't think they ever updated it still for the water to have a proper, like, softening effect of you falling. Like Minecraft, you fall in water, you're fine. Here, you still fall and die. Okay, so we'll see. Yep, okay, we got them. Dropping off. There we go. Drone's gonna deliver here. And then when both of these are launched, they'll continue to fill things up there. And I can make more money. That should work. If I get to the point that I've got serious overflow, I am cool with that. Just do this. I'll toss all this in. I'll go over here and watch the launch. Hoping it does put them correctly in the one before the other. But it looks like they're going to the side. They're evenly distributing again. See, that's not that far away. That's fine. That shouldn't take up too much of my drone time. And I won't hear the launching here. You know, won't hear that constant sound of launching or landing. I really kind of want to watch it, you know, actually launch. 20. Grab another 20. Oh. We'll see what happens when I put 30 in, because that'll be enough to launch both of them. Oh, one launched already. Okay. So this will finish off that one. And then the rest will go right back to the storage where I had it. And of course, now I can't see it. Why are you going to do this to me? I want to see it launch. Now I can't because of stupid rain. What? Where's that drone going? It looked like he just kept going out this way. Alright, any second now. So I can go get some food. I mean, I dumped 50 in total. There it goes. So it has to launch. Tornado touchdown in the area, but it's not even stormy for you yet. I mean, technically, tornado doesn't require rain and such happening at the same time. Okay, so that's still filling up. And I bet it's the methane again. I am waiting on. I got osmium. It does seem like it's favoring the recycler more regarding my osmium, which is fine. I'll keep that going. And it's not overflowing it, so that's good. Okay, that is full. So where is the others? Oh, now it's going to this one. Yeah. Not this way. This way. Oh well. Eventually, they will fill up. And I'll do a I'll do another machine optimizer down here for these, so I'll have one on this side, one on that side, and optimize them, try to get them to keep up. I'm fine with, you know, overflow, and then I can always, you know, build more. I'm overflowing on iron. Okay, so I have, to a degree, not high volume yet, but I do have a Pulsar Quartz trading scheme going here now. See where we're on fish, we're going to amphibians. Let's get to animals, I think. And I'll consider moving back for a little while to Prime, do some work there. I feel like I should at least get some stuff done with the, you know, butterflies and such. Wait, what am I out? What am I out? I have a plastic nugget. I'm not out of nuggets. And of course, I'm out of range of my supplies. Fine. Let's get nuggets going. That is okay. I just realized that is one I did not set up for storage yet. Just let that fill up. And now I'm out of fabric. Of course I am. Okay. I don't want them up here. I don't like the butterflies being all in my business. So, yeah, I don't need to get all super fancy down here. Just do like this. Hoping I can build over that. Or on top of that later. There you go. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I'm thinking I can do. I don't even need 3 of them right now. I'll just do 2. Okay, let's see if I can get a couple more Serenas. Right here, come on. Right here. Give it a second to see. In the meantime. He's like, are you trying to get me to look at the camera? Are you trying to get me to look at the camera? I'm gonna try and get you to roll that belly. Roll that belly, Timmy. Trying to be like right at the edge of the camera's view. You're like, why are you doing this? Just give me scratches. Give me belly scratches. Oh, I had to go to Lowe's today and get a couple of tools. And I didn't notice it when I was standing there in the self-checkout because they didn't have a single register open. It's all self-checkout. And so I'm standing there waiting for somebody to get done with their purchase. And I hear the person ask me, is that really a cat? I'm like, now looking and I don't see it. And they're basically standing there in front of it. I finally look around them. There's a cat sitting there, just kind of got his legs tucked under him. He's on a little pad next to one of the self-checkouts, you know, where they got all the, like, buy this stuff, you know, on your way out displays. And he's just laying there, just kind of sitting there. And he has a neckerchief on that says Lowe's. His official, not a shirt, but, you know, he has a little neckerchief on to show he was a Lowe's employee. And I was just like, see, more places need to embrace that. I'm sure the cat is one of those that kind of wandered in through the garden section, you know, at some point. And so they're like, oh, well, he's kind of hanging out here. We'll keep him. Good way to keep, you know, vermin out. So, yeah, we'll keep him. Gave him his own little official outfit for work. And I was like, yeah, see? got customers here taking pictures with the cat, you know, petting the cat. I'm like, I don't get why more places don't, you know, do that sort of thing. I get it with restaurants, you know, you got a whole sort of cleanliness thing that, you know, health department kind of would frown upon that sort of thing. But, I mean, you know, I know there are restaurants that allow service animals at least inside. And there's some restaurants around here that I've seen that allow pets inside as long as they're on a leash. And you don't have them, like, up on the table or anything. But, yeah, that was a nice little surprise. Like, there's a cat hanging out there. And he's just literally chill, perfectly calm. I was like, that's Timmy. He's chill. He's calm. He just kind of hangs out. And, you know, he's not, like, he's not fussy. I mean, he might whine if you're not giving him attention. Be upset that somebody came in and he gets to make a new friend and they don't give him any attention. Then he can be upset, you know, get a little whiny. But beyond that, you know, he's just going to sit there calm and chill. And he's cool. I don't see why more businesses can't be relaxed about it. Say, yeah, we got a, you know, shop dog, shop cat. You know, we got a dog that's the official greeter when people come in. Get Timmy a job. He can start paying his rent. I am noticing a surprising lack of all larvae right now. So I went all the way over there. Was hopefully to get some larvae spawning. They're not even spawning down here. In this area. So I think my larva generator is stuck. That, or I've got them clogged up top. Because I should at least be seeing some on the ground here, and I'm not. I think it's clogged. Got a larva stuck somewhere in the generator. Might need to clear it out. Yeah, I got a bunch up here. Let's just try clearing a few of these. That's not a lot, actually. So it's not like I am just hosed with larvae everywhere. I feel like some of these just spawned in. Check here. Okay. So, going back down. Going straight over here quickly. And if they don't start spawning, I'm going to have to save and reload. Like, at least one should be popping up any second. Yeah, I'm gonna say my larva is stuck. So let's save. And I'm gonna reload. Oh, yeah, look, trees appearing. So something got stuck, you know, including the tree generation. That's all in my business now. Look at it, it's all in my way. I don't want it there. Yep, there it is. Something got stuck. Yep. Train changes, whatever. Something got locked up. I had to close out. Ooh, got the Albin. Yeah, look at that. I'm getting much better. I got 2 already. So let's go put those in. That's what I was looking for. Aha, another one. Another Albin. Serena. I keep seeing that autocrafter blue. Like you look at it and just go right past it real quickly right over there. And it just, at first glance, it looks like that. So I keep seeing it and thinking I found a butterfly, and I'm like, oh wait, no, that's just that thing again. See, like right there, you turn, you see that blue right there. Cause it darkens it a little bit, makes it look like it is a Serena, and I got a gold. I like that. I got 2 golds. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta reload the save to fix things. Look at that, 3 golds. It was definitely hosed up. Yeah, that was definitely a problem. Come on, give me 1 more gold. I'll swap out for those Serenas. Come on, I got 3 gold very quickly, so it certainly can accommodate number 4 in like the next, say, 30 seconds to a minute. Should I keep clearing all these? Starting to get a little bit brighter. Oh man, look at that. Just, even if you don't get a lot of gold larvae here, you can get a ton of Serena larvae, and that is almost as good for the terraformation index. Come on, gold. Give me a gold. I had 3 in like very short succession. There we go. 4. Number 4. Just gonna swap out these. There we go. I need fabric. Okay, I know I got some silk generator or silk larva somewhere. Yeah, I feel like I'm still not going to use the entire setup for storage, so I think where I want to put these. I'm not worried about this place being so fancy, so we'll go in the corner. What? Oh, yeah. Oxygen capsule. That one stray one that's been hanging out forever in the recycle box. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna need the silk just independently. So I'm just gonna do that, and because they're on that side, fabric. I mean, that should reach to the back there. So yeah. Okay, both trade rockets are here, so I definitely have room to ramp up my production a bit. Depending on this. Oh, no, I'm actually doing pretty good as far as production now, I think. The methane has sped things up. Really, go ahead, I'll dump this in and let it transfer this. Let me see, I had that. Yeah, that. Go. I do need to organize a few more things, but nothing too bad. Let's see. Let's do some traveling, because I have not gotten everything I can get. I haven't even been everywhere in here yet. You know, I've kind of like I've been briefly through one of the spots over there, just because for the most part I didn't have to worry about doing a lot of exploring here this time, because I already did Prime, then Selenia. So I'm doing this here, rapid improvement on you know, my terraformation index, so I'm terraforming stuff way before I even have to go out anywhere. So now's a good time to do some exploring out this way. I saw that magnetar quartz, that's nice. Got the big crate here. Ooh, yeah, look, bunch more magnetar quartz. Oh, fuse. Oh, wait. It's under the water now, but yeah. There we go. Grab what I can out of this area. I'm filling up my inventory a little faster than I expected. The thing that certainly helps a lot. The blueprint chip. Oh, we have more fuses. And then here. This lovely area. I remember one time, I felt like I was trying to build off that overhang, the archway there, because I thought it'd be kind of neat to have it hanging down. Again, you run into that problem of it works great building upwards, but when you try to build down, it kind of becomes problematic. Stuff doesn't snap anymore. You gotta do weird stuff to make it easier to get around. It just becomes pain. Storage on the inside is a mistake? What do you mean storage on the inside? You mean like having storage boxes scattered around the inside of places? Or storage on the inside of like the little drones? I mean, technically it's not really like storage. You're kind of more like you're opening up the drone and taking the circuit board out. Kind of the idea on those. Storage on the inside. Oh, you mean building storage stuff inside your base? I mean, I contend that building it outside looks dumb to have all your storage outside, because that's not realistically how somebody would do it. Why would you go and put all your lockers outside so you can go walk outside every time you want to get something? You know, most people would build inside. this. Let's sort it. Let's see. One token card for 500. Bunch of fuses. This is always good. Quartz. Magnetar Quartz is a good one. Cosmic Quartz, because, you know, Cosmic Quartz is pricey, and Magnetar Quartz we can't make at the moment because no recipe. I mean, if you want to build your storage outside, then go ahead. To me, I build for not just production, but also cosmetics. And I hate the look of having your storage just scattered around outside where it feels like, you know, you're just... I mean, you know, if it's like in a game that's themed around you stack storage outside for stuff that is larger in size, you know, like, oh, hey, here's special, you know, log storage. You know, it makes sense to put log storage maybe outside, whereas you might have stick storage inside, because inside you might need those sticks to throw in the fire and not the logs to throw in the fire. So it depends on the game, but with this, because of autocrafters needing proximity, I like to build inside so that everything is nice and compact, and it means I am not spreading things out any further than I need to. And I can actually, even with this, as compact as it is, I still have problems with autocrafters not reaching to certain storage, and if I was building everything externally, I'd have it more spread out. I mean, I personally find my organization for autocrafting much more efficient than if I was building outside. Now, in certain cases, I will build outside and build a completely separated thing like I did on Prime, where I built my production for bacteria samples and fertilizer and mutagen completely separate and completely spread out outside, because I needed access to algae and I didn't want to have to tie up my drones delivering algae. But that is a build outside because that one fits building outside. Building outside for your iridium rods, like especially on Humble, doesn't make sense because all your iridium's going to be coming from your crushers, which may produce uranium or superalloy instead of iridium when they crush the uraninite. But again, it comes down to personal preference. I will build outside storage and production stuff when it is fitting to the item, but everything else goes inside because I prefer the way it looks and functions for me inside. Checking, make sure I don't have any missed crates since this collapsed. Oh yeah, we have one over here. I don't think I ever came around here before. What's that? There's that drone there. And the one that's got the storage box is obviously, you know, move around. And their chip. I don't think there was any others that dropped down. But this does give me an opportunity. Get up over here. Now that I'm thinking about it. There's a you know what? I think it's on the ledge there. That's what it is. It's like a ledge right in here. It says been a while since I did the previous video on Starfleet Crates. I have changed a few locations. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. I was like, I remember there was one somewhere thousands of ones. Honestly, I'm not getting anything amazing out of the Starfleet Crates. I seem to be getting better stuff out of the standard crates now. Let me see about getting those seeds going. I don't like that these are not interactable. Oh my god. Yeah, the zeolite cave, which, yeah, Osmium, and here we go, yeah, the aluminum spot. Honestly, I think this had aluminum mineable here. There's all the broken aluminum stuff here, but I think why do that? You got bauxite. It's much easier to access, and you're getting aluminum out of the bauxite. Just, you know. Oh, we got the cosmic quartz unlocked now. You can actually collect it. I'm not going to do it. We'll leave it since we can't actually craft it now. Let's see what. I mean, if it's military and you like efficiency, you know, efficiency and organization still comes down to, you know, if it's an individual personal preference on, you know, one person's efficient organization is not efficient for another person because two different approaches to the way you might do things. But also efficiency comes down to, you know, in terms of like a corporate entity and such, comes down to the workflow and what kind of efficiency you're going for. If you're looking for efficiency as far as internal space used to have it for stuff that won't build outside, yeah, then, you know, you need to put more storage outside because you're trying to build fewer buildings. But I like building a more cosmetically appealing base, and for that I don't like having storage scattered around outside because to me that is cosmetically unappealing. And also just the way I handle my setup for storage and production, it's much more efficient for me to do my storage this way because of how I do the auto crafting for, again, certain items. Certain items I do separately. Like I would not do an auto crafter for fertilizer here because you know, fertilizer and then the bacteria samples are going to cannibalize on the same resources. They're going to use the same stuff, so you're going to have, you know, an imbalance there, which is why those I would build separately outside, separate from each other, so they don't rip from each other's inventories. But for most stuff here, I build it close together because it makes it much simpler for me and much more appealing for me to play the game. You know, that's why I look at some people's builds in SAS Factory where they've got these really, really creatively designed, you know, factories, and they've got all these walkways going everywhere and all this stuff done, and I'm like, you know, it would be so much more painful for me to build around trying to do the walkways than building the way I do, where I just put all of my conveyor belts towards along the walls and along the ceiling by doing the vertical elevators, item elevators, so I don't have to worry about walking over everything. I walk under everything. You know, that'd be a personal preference. You know, for me, building it where you have to have the walkways to get around is less efficient, but somebody else would argue it's less efficient to not build walkways. Okay, yeah, I'm moving. Well, you know, let me see what fuses I have. I know I have production, energy. I think what else I need. Probably need to do a trade rocket just for getting some fuses now. 6 trade rocket fuses. That's good. Production fuse. Okay. Growth fuse. I have literally no pressure or heat fuses. So, I'm going to do a trade rocket with my 313,000 tokens. This is, I'm going to just do it kind of like this. Of course, I'm doing it time where it's dark. So where's the middle? There's the middle. Okay, so this one, go like that. All right, I got it as close as it will get. It will not snap to it because I think they base it around the actual ladder, because the way the ladder fits and not the actual foundation part fits. Let's see. I need to get, let's just do 3 of each. Honestly, it's probably time to go ahead and unlock some of these, because I've got so many tokens. That's a 90,000 token order right there. Let's just double this. I'll go ahead and get those. Okay. So let that run. And let me just see how. Oh yeah, it's picking up good. I need to probably add another trade rocket down below for Pulsar Quartz. And they're not even full. It's just that time delay while those are launched that I'm still producing enough. It's filling up my storage a bit more. And okay, it's not stuck. Sometimes they still get stuck where it'll leave one spot open at the back, the very last spot, and not fill it for a while because it's something with the drones. Oh yeah, and that's where I gotta put it. I do very high, or yes, very high. Okay, that should honestly be enough right now. In terms of the Pulsar Quartz, and 314,000. I'm going to spend like 100,000 in that one order. Let's see. That's why I need explosive powder earlier. Got one. So 7 more. Okay, so that's 7 more for that, so I'll be tier 5 heaters, plus the one I've got already built, and then, wow, I'm actually, yeah, getting like no osmium rods to this. They're all going to the recycler. That is kind of interesting that I'm getting that much. I mean, I do need some rods coming here. Considering that it's, let me double check, make sure I didn't change it. Normal priority, yeah. That's weird. You know, I got too many rods on that one, but that's okay. Let me double check, make sure I did not change that. No, it's normal priority. It should be balancing between them, but it's not. It should be, like, even, I would think prioritizing one, the other container was built first, so it's got to be because of slightly less travel distance. It's prioritizing the osmium rods here. But again, I know it, is probably supposed to be exactly the same as anything else, but I always feel like the osmium produces at a slower rate ultimately. Oh great, we got a meteor coming straight down. Alright, bye Jason. Go get your stuff, get your supper. That really is almost coming straight down. Somewhere where I can see the angle without being squished. That is almost straight down. Look how slow it is. It was aiming for me. Move. Nah, okay, I got it. That was straight aggression. It was coming after me. Well, I want to see if this will fit. Probably won't. But I wonder if I can... Oh, I can make the heaters fit there, I think. Can I make the drills fit here? That would be... No, no way that's gonna fit. That'd be funny to have just a little island that's just drills on top of it. Right there where I can see them. I think I can make it work over here. And I forgot to bring the supplies for the optimizers, which is fine because I still have to come back anyway with the fuses. I hate about these, you have to be so far back to place them. Okay, I get this. Come on. Oh, come on. Okay. We're gonna treat it like that's the edge, so. Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then one there. Alright, and then optimizers in the middle, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So 8 drills over here out of the way. They actually just do a heaters over here if I can make them fit. Oh yeah. Heater is so much easier to deal with than the drills. The drills are just so big. I'm glad they didn't try to do like a tier 6 or tier 7 drill and all that, because think about the size of them, how difficult it would be to replace something like that down. Be like, here's the tier 7 drill. You know, it takes up all this. You only need one because you only have room for one. And you have to be like, you can't precisely place it. You gotta be here and you're aiming basically at the wall over there. I'm glad they didn't try to go that route. That would have been really frustrating. Like too much aluminum. And I did take extra. I grabbed just a little stack, so that's fine. And I'll do 2 each. You know, I haven't sent this at all today to get anything. Oh, 350 seed lermas. Before the mod bugged out on me and started causing stutters, I have plenty of seed lerma produced, so I'm good on that. You know what? I'm producing plenty of osmium over there. I'll just go and fill up with osmium. Since I am getting an osmium store. Still need to do insect and the animal rocket. So I'm not even worried about animal rockets. We're not even through amphibians yet. How long? 96 seconds. Wonderful. Okay, apparently the sulfur got consumed as I was about to pick it up, so. I still need to do a gardening floor. Because I don't like having them there. That was not the point of having those there. Of course, I can't build a ladder down. That is one other drawback of trying to build downwards instead of upwards. So much easier to build upwards. I'm gonna do it off the idea of the door being on that side. Yeah. So, let's see, I think I'll have to do this, kind of be able to line it up. Yeah, that's what I thought. A little too close. Maybe I can line it up. I think that's lined up. Kind of hard to tell from the side. Yeah, it's lined up like on the seams, but it won't line up on the other side. Alright, so go out. This. Need to use some iron up anyway, because I got too much. There we go. And go through. Oh. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And it doesn't make me snap it. Nope. I am too close. Problem with having a jetpack that doesn't function like a jetpack. Okay, yeah. I'm good with it right there. I feel like that might cause a problem. You know what? Let me just test it and see. Does it stick through? It kind of does. You can kind of notice it sticking through a little bit. Not too bad. I might can get away with that placement for the next level down. It's better than going one out further that then. But yeah, you see that's still not lined up. I'm just gonna do it this way. And well, I wish they would make things matching in size on this. Got that. And now I don't have a clue which way my ladder needs to be facing. Okay, I guess we'll just go up this way. And like this. So I can figure out. Okay. So this side. And then this side. And just for lovely look, right there, like that. This will be the gardening floor. And might do the beehives down there too. Well, let's get a little bit further out, take a look at this. Yeah, kind of a weird little structural look to it. Still kind of works. And that should let me build another stack down. And this is back. Oh yeah. Oh, how much? 214,000. So it's like, yeah, I've made some money since it launched. But, so I say I was what, right at 100,000 tokens I spent. Just a little shy 100,000 tokens. I think that's probably the most expensive order I've ever done in one go. And again, my thought is, if I get enough tokens going, it won't be like constant, but it'd be something I could now take and order a whole batch of energy fuses and then recycle them to get the supplies back, like cosmic quartz, till we can actually we get a way to fabricate magnetar quartz, which I trust is going to happen in an update, probably the next DLC if I had to guess, because we'll get another planet, probably another moon. At that point they really don't have an excuse not to give us a way to, you know, get a recipe for magnetar quartz. Oh yeah, look at how fast my terraformation index is starting to kick up. And that's done. No more of those, no more heaters, nothing else. I'm just gonna leave those and it'll be all rockets the rest of the way. Which I really shouldn't need here. Though it would be kind of good to get it set up at some point where I can let it run and do a lot of rocket launches. Still feel like we need a upgraded launch platform, a tier 2 rocket platform where we can choose a rocket type and it acts like an auto crafter for that type of rocket, crafts it, and auto launches every time, you know. That way you're just launching the rockets and it can look similar to the trade rocket platform, you know, something a little bit smaller. And it's not launching the big rockets. It's launching like a smaller version of the rockets, which does not cause the meteor storm. That way you can auto launch it without it spamming you with meteors constantly. You're just getting the benefit of the boost to your terraformation index and not getting slammed with so many rockets that you're like, or so many meteors that you can't go outside at some points because there's just, you know, it's endless storms happening. I still feel like we need that. We need a tier 2 rocket platform to automate rocket launches. It just makes sense at this point. We got so many other things we can automate. Why not give us that so we can automate launching our rockets? What are my drones grabbing? What are they? They're flying here, like right above this spot and grabbing something and turning around. Are they showing the wrong way, or are they actually coming here and grabbing something out of the air? First, I need to see how my drone usage is. I am constantly doing that, so I actually be getting enough stuff to do. Apparently, I had circuit boards in there that I don't remember clicking on, or I accidentally shifted my click at one point and ordered some circuit boards with that one. Thinking that's more of something did not get pulled out when I requested. When I did this, it didn't take everything out of inventory earlier. You know what? That is something I probably should start looking at producing. Because, well, you know, the bioplastic nuggets. Guess I should finish doing some organizing. So, mutagen T1. Get these kind of set up. I'm not even set up or planning a major setup for these just yet. Because producing plenty back on Prime, that's this, you know, this is not such a critical thing here. But, you know, having some storage will help. We'll do the fertilizer. Yep. This is just more for giving me that organization. I got that, so now the bioplastic nuggets, because I kind of need them to be producing like that. There we go. And I'm gonna turn this back to my nuggets. Probably need more. Sulfur production at this point. Why that did not fill up that quickly. Honestly, it is. It is not dumping any osmium rods in that storage now. Even though it should be. Okay. What is that? I do know that because I have auto crafters and storage blended together here. And if you're talking about overlapping them a certain way to where they can basically sit on top of each other, I don't do that. I literally, like, I have these gapped because I don't want them looking like they're built into each other. Again, I build also for cosmetics, not just trying to cram everything in unrealistically. Okay, silkworm. I am getting some silkworm. I am producing algae, and I got algae over there. I guess I could throw algae in here so I can get it out of that other spot. No, because it's also almost full for my one little algae generator. What else? That. I think I'm gonna start doing the other storage side for the larvae and such. Let's see what else I really need at the moment in terms of organizing. You know, obsidian. Do I have obsidian? Did I do that yet? Nope. No, because I'm not actually worried about producing it right now. I do have some, I'm just not needing a lot. Nuggets, okay, there's all those, that. Good. Starting to get some stuff kind of structured. that should burn quickly. Producing that anymore. Fabric is being produced. I just don't have a place for it yet. Though I do have a need for it. Drink some water. And now comes the problem of the butterfly farms. Am I going to have an issue with placement of the farms, considering I am stuck with trees in the middle? I think this will be okay. Because, again, you know, some problems with some terrain stuff. And you are not going to block me because of that stupid tree. No. See, this is why disable build constraints is also a must, I think, in terms of mods, if you do mod at all. Because there are so many places where you can build something in one spot and it's fine against, like, over this little rock or whatever, and then you're here over this rock and it's like, no, you can't build there. No, that rock's in the way. But it visibly is not. There are so many places where that sort of thing happens, so it definitely is a another mod that I think is a must for just basic modding, because you do run into places where you're just like, there's no reason why I can't build there. Okay, let's see if I can get me maybe some gold going again. Plenty of food and water level, so at the least the Serenas are acceptable, but I'll give it a couple minutes. I should at least get a couple more gold. I really only need, I have 2 per farm, and I've got 8 farms. Lorpin, if I could never target it. So really, I just need a total of 16 golden larvae at some point. I've got 4. So yeah, just, you know, 2 minutes. It can pop out another 12 golden larvae, right? That's not a tall order. I mean, at least I'm getting already 6 Serena butterflies. I'm also getting, I've got Album, I also got the Lorpin one this time. Honestly, this is such a weird spot for the ones it produces. And it produces in such high volume if you build a platform like this. Like, you know, I've built platforms like this in other places and still not gotten as good. Like, it ends up being more of the common, uncommon, rare, really, in the end. But here, you just can, like, see how many of the specialty ones I'm getting relative to the others. I mean, let's see. 9 common to 9 Serena, 6 uncommon, 1 rare. I've actually got more Serena by a significant amount there than rare. So the Serena should technically be rare, or more rare than rare. And yeah, I am rocking a ton of them here. It does just still feel like this is kind of, the spawn rate in this area is a little imbalanced. What is everybody doing the rest of the weekend? Oh, after this, I'm gonna figure out something to eat. And then I'm meeting a buddy later for margaritas. So it was a toss-up first for pizza, and I was like, what about, you know, what about the Mexican place? Let's get some margaritas. And he's like, so we're gonna go do like a picture of margaritas. And I'm about to be pelted. Super out. Oh, hey. I should actually be fine standing here, because everything should fall around the platform and not even hit the platform, because I was on the platform when the storm kicked off, which means all of the meteors should be outside this radius. Like, look where everything is going. That's basically where all my uranium and iridium meteors were going through that area. And I did that after last stream. Wow, 3, 4, 5. Serena. Like, just like that. Let's see, there's one over here. That's... Like, yeah, it still feels like this is imbalanced a little bit right here in terms of the way the spawns are handled. Like, there's too high a percentage for Serena compared to some others like Rare. Alright, let's see how much I got. 25 Serena, 3 golden. Just give me one more golden. One more, so at least I have like an even number for the spot over there. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's... Oh, nope. It threw me off. It gave me 2 golden, so now I'm an odd number again. I need an even number. Because, you know, it's 2 per butterfly farm, so I need an even number. Give me an even number. And, you know, we'll move on. And it's weird, like, how long it goes with no golden larva, and then it's... Here's one. Oh, here's another one, by the way. Water. You know, I honestly wish there was, to some degree, we could choose specific placements for like trees in some cases. Like, yeah, let it kind of spread naturally, kind of thing. You know, you want to have it the randomization or the selected places where they're going to grow after you get to a certain stage, but I kind of wish we had a way to plant the trees in a specific location, specific patterning, because it'd be kind of fun to actually like build up a whole little base that's kind of tucked away in the forest. Like, here's all the trees, but you leave a path that you walk through, and here's your little base, like just a little, you know, habitat spot. And you know, it's like your secluded little getaway kind of thing. That's what I would do. I'd have it like, yeah, here's a little path, walk along between the trees. You got all these, they're nice and planted as close together as possible, so they all, you know, thick forest feel. You walk through, and then here's your little habitat area, and at the top have like the glass dome design, so that you can look out at the trees around you and up at the stars at night, kind of thing. It's just be kind of that like cabin in the woods type of feel, but you know, luxurious, technologically advanced cabin in the woods. And not talking about that movie Cabin in the Woods, which was a technologically advanced cabin, but you know, different theme in terms of the technology. That was a lot of larvae. Okay. 22,000. Okay, I need to relocate some gardens. And, you know, I'm just gonna do this. Because it's just easier. I think, I do 3 out, 5. You know what, let's go with that. I'll go like, yeah. I may actually have to start setting up some stuff for producing some fertilizer, because I kind of wasn't worried about it, and now I might actually need to worry about it. At least for one brief little setup. Let's just see how this lines up for me. One thing I don't like with this is if I line it up around the grid here, which it fits nice and perfectly in kind of that, you know, there, it leaves, while it does snap together, it leaves a gap between them. So it slowly shifts further out than it being like snapping right up to it. If this was snapping where this was the edge and this was the edge, and then the next one was snap right here, that would be great. But yeah, the alignment does kind of end up getting off a bit. And you end up with, again, that overhang, which I don't like. I'm stuck with. Okay, so that's 5 of each. I'll need, let's do another row, so that'd be another 5, that's 15. I'll just go ahead and get 25. And I'll get 25 tier 2, and that would be good. Actually, do I have resources now? Yes, I do. Yep, snap to that. So again, it doesn't snap around the actual like frame. It snaps around that, which makes it harder to place those. Prime, and I'm gonna do that launch. Okay. These will come out in just a moment. Let's see how I'm doing on that. Still producing extra even with the third. Trade rocket. Plastic nuggets doing alright. About to give refill on those. And those I'm not so worried about. Sulfur is fine because I'm not burning through it with the iridium. Uranium. Iridium. Okay, iridium is... I'm getting more uranium than I'm getting of iridium. And for the most part... Yeah, I don't have anything consuming iridium at the moment. So I do seem to be getting a higher output of iridium or uranium than iridium from my crushers. So speaking of, I need to check these. That one's about full. That one's almost full. So it's that one, followed by that one, followed by that one. When I built them in that sequence. So not even going in the sequence that I created them. That was keeping up at least. Ooh, you know, actually, that if we could choose where to place trees, that's what I would build in there. I would build a mega dome and then surround the entire outside with a really thick forest of those trees. I may actually try that. I wonder if I can force it to line up the way I want. I'm assuming the trees will not grow inside the dome. I would think. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming the trees won't grow inside the dome. That could be an interesting experiment. Build the dome, and then load up some tree spreaders. Which I've already got some over there for that tree type. And I should have room for it. Load up some tree spreaders around it and just see if they start to spread trees inside the dome. At least then I can get that kind of theme I'm going for. Oh, suddenly that caught up. I had 10 plus 7 rods there. I took 10 out, left 7, and now suddenly it has actually caught up. It had too many rods to keep up, and now suddenly it's caught up. Alright, that's fine. That is my osmium recycler. I may actually... might build another level down for recyclers there. Just kind of load them up. With that being, this is the osmium recycler. So if it fills with osmium rods, then the obviously osmium rod storage will start filling up. And that'll fill up because the output will fill up. Because I'll have too many bits of osmium there. And the osmium is being used, of course, for this. So now the problem comes back to iridium seems to be producing less than the uranium. Yeah. It would kind of be like a downgrade in a way. But thinking about it, what if you had, and granted, you can work around this, as discussed earlier, by moving stuff further away, but then you're adding the travel time for your drones. What I would like to see is, okay, let's say I have my overflow, and my overflow of uranium, bits of uranium ore, overflows into a specific separate storage. And when it overflows to that storage, which not a storage box itself, but an actual autocrafter, like a tier 1 autocrafter that has the same kind of thing, like it's this. So here's the storage, and it autocrafts to the output storage. And then the current autocrafter we have becomes the tier 2 autocrafter, which autocrafts within a range around you. That would give kind of a more interesting stepping stone where you could have autocrafting earlier tied in with the whole drone aspect, and then you get the tier 2 autocrafter. Because we do have, I mean, again, you know, we got now a tier 2 recycler. I don't know how you could do a tier 2 autocrafter except for adding more range to it or increasing the speed. I feel like if they changed the current one to that being tier 2 and then had a similar design to this as an autocrafter, have like, okay, yeah, I'm producing all this uranium. Well, now it goes in here for the overflow, and that gets crafted into the rods if you were wanting to do it that way. Since, you know, here I do kind of have a restriction on how much I am producing in terms of certain things. Okay, so those are full. Now it's going here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even though they were built 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or perhaps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is one of those directions I built them in. And yet it jumbled them up for some reason. At least everything is emptying. My drones are busy. And all my rockets are launched. I need this to be sustainable so I can leave and be on the other moon. The problem there is, if this overflows, then I need to be producing this. If this overflows, then I need to produce this. And if this overflows, it needs to be recycling. Same with this. Instead of it being, oh, this overflowed, I'll just recycle, I'll just shred it. I'm trying to think how I can make that work as smoothly as I would like. It does seem like this is producing less. And it should actually start ramping up my production. Now that it's starting to fill up all of those, I'm going to have eventually every ore crusher constantly going for the uraninite. And I'll have too much production over there, so those will fill up, which is fine. But yeah, I need this to handle overflow correctly to produce more of these, but I also need it to be that if this runs out, ideally, it's almost makes me feel like, to a degree, a certain amount of programming like we had with Mechanica, where you could, you know, tie in certain connections and program it a certain way. It'd be kind of nice to see a little bit of a logic upgrade. Maybe a tier 2 drone center, drone controller, drone station. Have a tier 2 where you can then, with that, and it has to be maybe within range of your certain things, you could create like a certain logic sequence. I don't know, it might end up being too much trouble for what it's worth, but it would be kind of interesting to see that sort of thing where you could say, if this overflows, start crafting these. If this overflows, start recycling these. You know, or maybe just a certain value, like with the drones, where we got the demand. Demand until 80% full. And then stop demand. Demand until, you know, 80% full. Supply when 90% full or something like that. Supply until it's 20% full, and then demand until that. You know, something like that where it can flip between them. Be like, okay, if we've got this much, start supplying it. Okay, now once you get to this point, start buying or demanding it again. Would be kind of an interesting option to add in, so you could keep it from overflowing and not have to just deal with overflow. And you could actually say, like, you know what, I want it up to 80% full, and at that point, I want to start supplying it too. And then when it gets to 20% full, it starts demanding again. Or 10% full, it goes back to demand. I'm just not sure how they could cleanly incorporate that with what we have without making it unnecessarily complicated. Okay, that's been emptied. This one's not, because I know I did not set it to supply everything. Alright, and that gives me enough for those. Let me get that. Alright, so I'm going to do another 15. Yep. Wait, no. Needs to be there. 15. 15. 15, and then a bunch of water, and then I'll figure out how I want to do the count as far. Well, you know what? This is going to be fine, because this is going to be a total of 20. And 20 means 5 each type. So 5 each. That. Take these out. Really, I'm not using anything but the beans and mushrooms at the moment. Might be time to do an additional setup where I do it down at the waterfront, start producing the bacteria samples. Now, I just realized I didn't put that in yet. I didn't put storage in for it. So all right, we're gonna do beans. And I'll just go into the sequence of what they are currently in the inventory. And squash. I feel like I'm at that point. I'll have to look and see where I'm at because of the insects or amphibians was what I know was going last, and then I'm not really so worried about having everything producing here like that, having frogs and such at the moment. I still want to test out that mod that lets you do the portal generator for the randomized portals, where you use that as a teleport between planets. I still want to try that out at some point. I'm holding back on that until we get kind of more established with maybe even the last one. Because the mod does have an option to say you have to have full terraformation index. It's not default, I think. That's just completely optional, but you have to be full terraformation on a planet to be able to teleport. There's still the problem that I think the mod said it addressed it, where you can't build the portal generator on the moons because they say no portal wrecks to go to, but that's not true. They actually will work. As far as the generator part, it will show wrecks. I just don't think it generates correctly. Might be worth testing that. You know, create a portal thing and see if it just crashes the whole game. But yeah, and there's also a mod feature for that one that you can set it up that requires a fusion energy cell every time you teleport too. So there's an option to make it a little bit more, you know, less cheaty if you wanted to go that route. I kind of want to try it at some point. But I'm leaning towards waiting until we at least get the last moon started. The Aqualis, which will give, of course, you know, some upgrades, like the tier 2 outdoor farm, the tier 3 butterfly farm, fish farm. I'll be doing some major upgrades in some places. Also see kind of how some of these look. And then, of course, the Quasar Quartz. Using phosphorus, the other material we're going to have to set up a transport of. And then, you know, interesting Qualis is, of course, submerged, which is part of why I remember seeing the design of the tier 2 wind turbine having like a floating platform look to it. Seismic activity, so it's not just the meteor storm shaking things up. We get earthquakes, seismic shocks, earthquakes, corals. So it's a, you know, moon covered in water. Resources scarce, mostly organic. Then we'll get the breathable atmosphere, and then get natural life, and then complete terraformation. So you see the, you know, the big difference in between the moons and then the number of stages for the planets. So we are on the mammal stage, and I think that's when I did leave after I got mammals done. And we are not that far off. I think the heat and the pressure are what I did that kind of helped speed that up. All right, you know what? Let's, yeah, I'm thinking about it again before I go do this because I don't have a spot labeled for it. You know, I kind of have all that stuff already set up over there, but no bacteria samples set up in storage yet. Okay, so yeah, there goes bacteria samples and all the others, fertilizer, mutagen. Great. So, bacteria sample, water bottle, and algae. I've got algae production going in one spot, kind of giving me some algae here. I could go ahead and start producing bacteria samples here. But, you know, why not just, again, build its own little setup for that. Its own water production, so it's not consuming my water that I need for other stuff. So, yeah. I think I did 6 water generators and like 8 algae generators on the other, on Prime, which is definitely not balanced right. I think I might do 4... because it grows multiple algae at a time. I might do like 2 and 4. 2 algae, 4 water for that. And then auto crafter. Let me just make sure I actually have, yeah, 2 algae. And then the 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Some iron, and pretty sure the autocrafter has nothing wrong with those. Yeah, let's go production lower. Awesome. Actually, I was gonna build everything out here, but now that I'm thinking about it, I could build it in the waterfront in there. just to be kind of different. Okay, Jenny, we'll see you next weekend. Have a good rest of your day and weekend. That could be kind of fun to just build it up there in that water area, but no, I think I'm just going to stick out here. Though I am going to do it, instead of across, I'm going to build it coming from this direction. No, yeah, let's go this way. You know, snapping vertically would be a really nice touch for this. It will place together, but it doesn't actually snap vertically. You don't get that lucky snap thing going where it shows the link. Okay, let's see if I can do it this way. Nope. Okay, so that was maybe just a little too tall. And it dropped. Okay, yeah, that's too tall. There we go. Oh, well, I grabbed to the side of it. Kind of, yeah. Okay, that's just gonna be like the central path, the spine between the sides. And we'll just start with this. So auto crafter. I'm not even gonna get fancy on this one. I'm just gonna literally put it just one little spot. It's gonna produce that, is going to supply that, and I'm just gonna drop down. Where's the algae? I'll do it. Yeah, like that. And then the lake water collector per side. I did 4. And I'll see how this does in terms of balance, then I'll add more. So algae and water in range of that to produce the bacteria samples, and then dump those bacteria samples up to the base. Then I'll do the same thing again. I can get up here. At some point I'll go and do the same thing just like I did in Prime, just for the ones that kind of can benefit from this separation, so you're not consuming the same resource for 8 different things. I'll just do it on this side. Do the same count. And getting that. Okay. That, so mutagen, you know, this is bacteria sample, methane, and sulfur. So I'll need to expand my sulfur production. I mean, technically, I could just have the bacteria sample go up there and have it consume bacteria samples. But what I'll do is I'll just do the same thing. I'll build the algae, the water, and I'll build to the side. So we'll have an auto crafter to handle everything. A small sulfur storage, which means I will have to add some more sulfur production to keep that going. And the methane, I'll have to have a methane producer here. And then that way it's getting its own supply of bacteria samples. Well, actually 2 auto crafters, one for the bacteria samples, then one for the mutagen. The mutagen is the only thing exporting. Yeah, I got a golden larva. After I get these kind of laid out, I may add a teleporter for it specifically. We're gonna go a little bit longer, but not too much longer. I think I'm about to the point where I feel fairly good. I can finish up some of this basic production stuff arrangement before next week, and then next week we'd be doing try to go ahead and have it ready where I'm back on Prime, got everything kind of set up and ready, figured out how I want to do it, and then we'll go from Prime to Aqualis and get started on that one. Alright, so I got those out of the way. Honestly, that's probably all I need is 2 beehives at this point for here. But I will leave room for more. Okay, so 234,000. I am working my way back up on that money. Most of it is still, I think, really coming from the silk generator, and I do still have to get back to Selenia to do a big silk generator fabric production trade setup there too at some point. I am going to still do that before I call it quits on the save. I want to get it, honestly, I want to get to 1 million tokens. I want to have it where it's like, okay, we sit here for an hour and I make like 200,000 tokens because I've got everything so ramped up. And then I'm just buying tons of the energy fuses to recycle them into cosmic quartz and such. Because I feel like that would be just a fun little be like, oh yeah, I'm making so much, I can just keep buying all these fuses. I can have, you know, 1 billion kilowatts of power. You know, I mean, I've got 67,000. I can at least get 1 million easily. And just keep it going between, you know, I say I need to do it, and I'm going to go ahead and do it while I'm thinking about it. 2 more for sulfur. And that's done. Now, again, I haven't been to Aqualis yet, but from the description, it does, you know, it's a water world, a water moon, or at least, I'm assuming we get there and it's not already, everything's frozen ice, that we walk around and then suddenly, the ice melts and now we are dropping into the water. That it seems like it's already a watery world. That might actually be a fun one to try the Megadome at, in terms of taking the supplies to build it to be my initial starting base area. I have to take supplies for building the dome. I'll go ahead and build one just so I can. Oh. Love how I can build through it, you know, through like the frame. Now, this could be a fun little one to kind of build it for the next location, for the Aqualis. I want to just test this. And I build that inside. Well, it feels like I could. I can build that. And I can build this. The problem is the size of this versus the way it is placing and in terms of distance. I got an idea. say like that. So that wouldn't be something I would carry with me in terms of resources. But let's say I wanted to build a big floaty living compartment in here. Okay, so that's too high, intersecting with the dome. So we'll try it here. And it's just... Okay, so it looks like it's just slightly too big to fit in here. One more try. Yeah. So 3x3 cannot fit in the dome. A little disappointing. I think this could be a fun spot for like the... I don't know. Well, would be good in this cosmetically. I guess technically you could do this as a your, you know, butterfly farms and such as that. You could make a big, it's a big giant mega dome for your butterfly farm, so all your butterflies are in the dome. You know, it's a super butterfly dome. I guess you could do that. We really don't have any indoor tree planters. That would be kind of nice. You could turn it into like a nice little, you know, a whole bunch of flower pots and, you know, maybe, you know, cosmetically build as like a central lounge area. You walk through it and you've got, you know, hey, here's couches, fountains, some stuff like that, and make it feel kind of like you're building not just for one person, but for a colony, for a group. But that just seems more... It feels like that's smaller, actually, than the one on Selenia. Like, because I remember there was bigger structures in that one. And I was kind of thinking, like, I want to build that. And we get kind of a version of that, but it's not as mega of a mega dome. It's a mega dome compared to our other domes, but it's not a mega dome in that it's the same size as the other mega dome. Almost to mammals. Yeah, I feel like I don't even have to worry about getting to terraformation. I can leave. Honestly, I left Selenia without everything unlocked. So, you know, even if I left right now, it'd be slower, but I eventually would have the full terraformation here. Main thing is... I have nothing here that is producing... There's no special item here. You know, I'm not producing selenium like on Selenia. If I was producing that, then, okay, I would be wanting to ship it away. But there's no special item here like that. You know, the special mechanic is the ore crushers, which are just crushing stuff to make other ores, and I really don't need that mechanic anywhere else. Okay, I know water is... Oh yeah, that's definitely plenty of water. Question is, how much can I get out of these? Is that going to be even? Can't remember what the count is. I want to say it's like 15 pieces of algae per generator. I want to say that's it. And if that's right, then, you know, built these all at the same time. I've got 6 or 7 water in each. So when the generator or when the autocrafter starts consuming everything, I'll end up having extra water. I could probably get away with a 3rd algae generator. So I wish we had an exact count of how much it would be. Oh! Oh! No, you stupid drones stealing the algae down here. Okay, I need extra algae just because my drones are dumb. It's also why I wish we could actually tell the algae generator to be included in the collection of supplies rather than it's just automatic. You know, gardens, the outdoor farms are automatically collected, which is great, you know, if that's what you want. But maybe you don't want, like, this algae to be part of the collection with the drones. Maybe you want this to be separate so it can be just for that production. On Prime, I wasn't having that issue because this was burning through the production of the algae so quickly, it wasn't a problem. So I guess now, on Humble, it's a problem. I'll leave it like that for now. 4 and 4. Still feel like I might need more sulfur in the end. And yeah, you know, I haven't even gone to everything. Let's do that. Let's I'll just go ahead and, because I don't remember how many there are over there, and I know I had a couple fusion cells left. I'm just not sure if I had enough. Let's go to the big red ship right there. For those who have not seen that one yet on Humble. Once you get to the right stage, you can see that vine. And come up here, more obsidian, osmium. Kind of at this point, like, actually, I think I remember building up here with one of my, at one point for the osmium. Now that I think about it, I think I did build up here for osmium production one time, or the previous time. I feel like it. Oh, no, I think what I did was I had to use the disable build constraints, because while there's osmium all around, I think it wouldn't let me actually build in here. Because it's rock and not dirt. Not ground texture. And some fancy clothes. I know this had to have a power thing. The big ship, fancy one, it's got to have a power requirement thing. Yeah, it's got those, so... Message, approaching planet. What's that? They have a protection system! Oh no, an abort landing process. Abort landing process, we're missing a space, I'm assuming that is supposed to be like a transcription. But I don't know why you'd be sitting there typing the commands to abort the landing process. I think that'd be more of a crucial, like, we need to have straight conversation. You know? Time is of the importance there. Let's see, 5,000, 7,200, 7,700 tokens. 9,700 and 900, 10,400 tokens. More fancy clothes. More deconstructibles. Yeah, honestly, I get better stuff out of this. And 11,400 tokens. Oh. I am out of room, and surely I've got something I can consume somewhere. Yep, can't use that. I don't. It's just iron. It's fine. Okay, so that's... Well, except for this area. Okay, well, I'll have to come back. Ran out of room. Completely. Great part is it's straight ahead as you come in. A different vine to climb up. I think that's inside with the Osmium. The little blue Osmium cave with the little lake. It's like right above on the ledge there's that vine that lets you climb up and out. That might also be a different one I'm thinking of. Easiest way to get there is once the vine appears, just climb the vine right outside the entrance into the cave system and go around the curve. Okay, dump all of it. And you know what? Let's just go back while we wait. And I'll get my food and water. Because there is some other stuff around that corner, I know it. Oh wait, no, that's leaves in it's a little cavern path that leads around. Well, it's not the spot I was thinking of there. Okay, is it this way? This way, yeah. That's 12,400 tokens for this one. Oh, you can actually pick those up if you target them just right. I feel like there was another one somewhere around here. I remember seeing one more rocket engine laying on the ground somewhere. That might have been down below. Yep, there. Okay. Oh, there we go. That is the main shipwreck. I know there's another base, one of the ones you gotta blow the wall up to get into, like a wreckage in the mountains. Is it like right up here? I think around that tree area, if I remember right. It's like right up in there as you transition outside the crystal area there. I like how there's a thing for getting those fish eggs there, but there's no like major water spots marked. Same as over here. But yeah, I know there's like another one over there, a wreck that I could probably get a few good things from. I'm still gonna be coming back here later. I'm gonna be working on continuing to upgrade certain things here, make things nicer and more capable. Let's say that. Boosting my production of Pulsar Quartz for the fact of making more money. But I think I'm off to a good spot now. I'll do some more work before next time, trying to get some more production polished up, just to make sure I'm not going to run into a problem where something stops in terms of production in the end. I think these are now starting to balance a little bit. Of course, I'm still not producing rods, but yeah. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up for today. so I can go and eat and let Timmy take his business outside. So I'm sure he's probably needing to do some doggy business. Oh, Timmy? Timmy. I had to say it twice, make sure he was alive. Sitting there watching that belly and not seeing it move. Have to say it again. Get him to wake up. There you go, fat boy. Don't look at me like that. Look. Look at the camera. How about that? Alright, I'm gonna tickle your foot. Huh? You don't want me to tickle your foot? Well, say hi. Oh, so tired from all the sitting and laying and just being lazy. Wow, chat got quiet considering we're wrapping up. But yeah, that's I think, was it, we're doing outside the beginning part of this, getting Prime set up, doing the normal sequence on your starting planet. Selenia went fast. Again, there's a very strange multiplication factor for the other planets on the solar system wide terraformation index, like massive multiplication. So yeah, Prime was the slowest part, getting things going like normal. Selenia went fast. I think we did 2 streams on Selenia and done. And now this was stream number 2 on Humble, I'm remembering right, and pretty much done now on Humble. I got a few more things to wrap up as far as, you know, just kind of getting things moving. Yeah, let's see. We did, okay, maybe we did 3 streams on Selenia. I think it was a case of the moon or move on. We stayed on the moon one more time, just do some more exploring and do a little bit more building work. So let's see. Oh, no, I know it was. Because I had that one stream, I was planning to go to the moon, and I had internet go out for 12 hours. So, because of storm, so did 5 streams on Prime, 2 streams on Selenia, and this is the 2nd stream on Humble. So yeah, we're basically keeping it to a fairly 2 rounds on each of the other planets to get to pretty much full terraformation, just because of the speed of which I can move forward. So I feel like we'll do 2 streams of Aqualis, starting with one next week. And Aqualis will be either full terraformation or almost fully terraformed. I'll have all the unlocks, and at that point, it's just a matter of having the, you know, the fun of going back and forth between each one and terraforming, or, you know, redesigning things, making things look nicer, boosting production of certain things. And I feel like that's definitely when I'm gonna do the we'll do that mod that does the teleporter through the portals. Portal Travel is the name of the mod. If you go to Nexus Mods for Planet Crafter, it's on the main page right now because it's recent and it's apparently getting some popularity. Yeah, I definitely want to do that one once we get established on Aqualis, because it's not so much a big deal as far as the cost of going back and forth from each planet, because the cost of creating that rocket for the travel rocket, it's the animation each time. Going through the sequence, watching the launch, and landing again, then I gotta deconstruct the landing pod, and all that. So yeah, I feel like that this mod would be a good one to try as far as the travel between the planets using the portal. And I kind of feel like that should have been part of the plan for the devs anyways. We should have had a way to, okay, yeah, once you go there the first time, you got this. But once you get to a certain point, that should have been one of the unlocks, was a interplanetary teleporter, you know, where it teleports you from one planet to another. Maybe not the same as the teleporter where you could just choose from a, you know, you choose the connection and then it links those worlds. So if you want to have a teleporter from Prime to Humble and one to Selenia, you'd have to have 2 teleporters on Prime. But then if you wanted to teleport from Selenia to Humble, you'd have to also have a teleporter on Selenia and Humble that connect to each other. I feel like that seems like the more logical way to try to do it, is you gotta basically build a portal that stays open and connected between them. And that's basically what this portal travel mod does in a way. But yeah, we'll test that one out after we get it established on the Qualys. I feel like that is a good fit right there. As far as once you get it established. And again, the mod does have some configurable restrictions if you want. I think from what I remember, the default is, yeah, here it is, config. Default is false, but you can set it to require full terraformation to be able to teleport from a planet. So you can't travel to or from Selenia if you don't have it fully terraformed. So there is that, you know, restriction if you want to turn it on, but it is by default turned off with the mod. And then the cost is each opening a portal requires a fusion energy cell. Now, granted, that would be you open the portal, you maintain the portal. That's why I mentioned that whole idea of trying to do it that way vanilla in the game. It would make you have to build multiple, you know, portal generators basically, so you can have an always open portal between like your main planet, your starting planet, and your other ones, where you're basically, you know, here's your central hub, and then these are your offshoots from that. But yeah, we'll do the Aqualis first, kind of get established there, and then play around with that mod. There haven't been that many other mods getting added right now for the game. I'm sure we'll see more as we get some new things added with the next DLC. Yeah, there's just not as many mods being done that. There is another one I did kind of look at called Foundations Plus, which adds some adjusted foundation sizes to the game. So you can actually have, like, the ramps have different angled versions of the ramps. So you can have a slightly shorter ramp, you know, that's got a greater incline degree. There's also, like, if you think of the current foundation as a, like, say 4x4, there's 1x4 type designs. I know there's one game we did that had that. There's different options as far as the floors for, like, that. You got some other things. It's a nice little cosmetic one in terms of adding some extra buildable things around the foundations and, like, glass floors and such. That might be another one I play with at some point. I'm cautious with that one because, you know, anything that adds certain cosmetics that, you know, if the mod breaks, then you could have it where they don't show up, and then suddenly half your base is missing with an update. You know, so that's the reason why I kind of avoid some mods like that necessarily, because at least till the game is in a good, stable place, so that it doesn't, you know, you're not getting as many updates. It's not constant updates with new content, but Planet Crafter's constantly getting new content, so odds are something will break. That's why I won't use that mod right now. But, you know, it's one of those things, if you're not worried about possibly losing your game save, corrupting it, having your base suddenly half disappear, there is a Foundations Plus mod too. That might be worth it. And Timmy has already made his way to the side, wondering why we are not on our way going outside yet. You gotta pee, Timmy? You gotta pee? You gotta go outside? You wanna go backyard? Pee? No? Just gonna give me looks? Now look at the door. Come here. Hey, come here. Come here, say goodbye. Come on. Timmy. Now he's like, I don't hear you. He wants to go outside. He's just not wanting to get all excitable about it. Yeah, we're going to wrap up today. Again, we'll do our Quartz next week. That's the plan. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to get to that. I'll clean up some of my production, tweak a couple more things, get back to Prime, get the next, batch of supplies ready to go. So we can launch to a Quartz, and then we'll see a Quartz. We'll have our 2 good streams there to see how it pans out. I don't have to unlock anything solar system wide. Everything's unlocked on that. This is just to get the other things like the tier 2 outdoor farm, tier 3 butterfly farm, stuff like that. Stuff that you then go back and replace on your other planets, just because. So yeah, we'll do that next week, but that is it for today. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, rest of your weekend, and as always, be safe, be healthy, and we'll see you next time.